Wait, finish it.
Upload. Come on. We don't have time. Come on, do it. Brackeys Game Jam 2020.2. We recently participated in a game jam hosted by the Brackeys team, but before we talk about that, let me explain what a game jam is. If you think it's some sort of game inside a jam, then you're f***ing wrong. A game jam is a competition in which hundreds and thousands of people participate to make a game, which is not only has to be finished with a certain period of time, but also has to suit the theme of a jam. By the way, check out Brackeys. It's a really cool channel and it can surely help you a lot.
It was about 3:28 PM. Me and my team couldn't wait any longer. We were so excited because this was our first game jam. We waited for about 2 minutes, but it felt like 2 hours. I stared at the screen without blinking. After waiting for what felt like ages, the theme was finally revealed. The theme was Rewind.
So, you got any ideas?
I got nothing.
Guys, what was the theme again?
Why did I have to be stuck on this dumbass team?
A few moments later.
Guys, I got the best idea ever. So, what if the player has to kill himself to pass the level? Hear me out. The player has to fall on a spike pit so that he could become the platform. Then, the player will be rewinded back to the place where he started and has to use his old body as a platform. Boom! Award-winning idea.
Are you kidding me? Dude, that's not rewinding, it's respawning.
Fuck.
So, does anyone have a better idea?
I got it. This is a block and this has to be moved. That's it.
The fuck?
Here's how it works. It's a grid-based puzzle game in which the player has to use his surrounding blocks to press buttons so that the exit would
Boring. Move block. Press button. Door go. Player wins, motherfucker.
So where exactly does the rewind part fit in all this?
You only have a few seconds to finish the level, or else the whole level will be rewinded.
Okay, cool.
So that's about it. The first day was spent discussing what the game was gonna be and we finally settled on a good idea. And that was the end of day 1.
Oh yeah, I also worked on the track for the game.
To start off day 2, I was given the rewind mechanic. And I did what any good developer would do. Look up a tutorial and find video with most views.
Yeah.
Hippity hoppity, your code is now my property.
I finished the track for the game and started working on some kick-ass mechanics. I was given the hardest of them all. I spent about 2 hours and kept thinking of different game logics and solved so many bugs. I scoured the internet, browsing through Unity forums, and after spending so many hours on this kick-ass mechanic, it was finally done. Yes, I finally did it.
Well, I took care of the player movement and other mechanics for the grid-based movement. I did some codings and after a while, I got this. Well, that was totally shit. So anyway, I started searching on the internet and I found this really good script and I just took a reference. Control C and Control V. And finally, I got making on the static block. And if you're wondering what it does nothing.
So when day 3 came around, I started working on the button mechanic, which was very optimized and easy to read. That was mainly all the mechanics I did. Most of the other stuff I did on that day were polishing, tweaking some stuff, and making some particles using Unity's particle system.
And I made a great timer where it does not reset itself when it reaches the end.
Wait, that's it? What the f have you been doing all this time? I not only made the moving block and boost block, I also made the tileset for the game.
Well, if you did so much, then how about you show us some of your mechanics?
Sure.
What the fuck?
Here's the moving block.
Did you at least make the tile set somewhat good?
Yeah, of course. And the best part is, I did it all on my own.
Me and Atomic finally started to work on level design. We thought it was gonna be the easiest part, but it turns out level designing is harder than we thought. It took around 2 hours, but in the end, we finally managed to finish the first 5 levels on day 4.
Actually, we started working on day 4 and finished on day 5.
Wait, what? How the f that happened?
Well, we started working on 11 PM and finished on 1 AM. So yeah, that explains it.
Whatever. I started to playtesting the game and found out that the FPS drops like crazy whenever the game rewinds. So I searched through the codes and obviously the problem was in the rewind script. So I called Atomic to tell him about the bug and tell him to fix it, but he was nowhere to be seen. So I ended up remaking the whole rewind mechanic and it was one hell of a time. Finally, it's working. What the f? 2 days to go. It's time for the player sprite sheet. We really wanted a character to suit the vibe like an adventurous character, so I took Indiana Jones as a reference and it actually turned out really cool. Also, is this just me or this character looking kind of? And also, I finished some background art like dungeon walls and stuff like that. And that's it for me for the day 5.
Me and Atom didn't really do anything on day 6 other than just finishing all level design crap.
Sound effect time, boys! After finishing the sound effects, I made a really complicated, highly advanced, mega sound manager script.
I tried my best to finish all the art for the UI and it turned out pretty well. After that, I began to link everything and implement all the levels into the game, and it was actually fun to play. By the end of day 6, we had somewhat of a playable game.
Hey, wait a minute. What did Atomic do today?
This is it.
It's the final day.
The moment of truth. There was only an hour left, but the game still wasn't finished. After working for 14 minutes, 32 seconds, 52 milliseconds and 74 nanoseconds, I finally clicked the holy build button.
One long angry line later. 5 minutes later.
There's only 2 minutes left on the clock. We didn't think twice before submitting our game.
10 seconds later. A few inches later. Few moments later. 1 eternity later.
Come on, finish upload, come on, So we weren't able to upload the game on time, but that's okay because game jams are all about learning and having fun. If you want to play our game, oops, not lost yet, my friend. A few minutes later, we uploaded it on a website called simmer.io. So the game is still up on there for you to play. The link is in the description. The game is super buggy, but it's still playable. This is our first game, so don't expect a lot. We'll get better in the future.
By the way guys, make sure to check out Brackeys. Most of the stuff we learned so far was mainly just looking on tutorials on YouTube, and Brackeys was a great help when we stuck on something. Also, here are some few honorable mentions who also helped us out greatly.
That's about it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and make sure to comment what you want to see on this channel, and we'll make sure to do it. If you want to know what project we are currently working on, check out our social media, which will be linked in the description.